Oh dear.
Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Oh Dear, presented by Bo's Bar and Stage. This episode, sponsored by Recovery Lab, will be joined with a new-ish friend of ours, Larry Lowe, in just a little bit. We're going to have a very science-y interview, which is what everyone tunes in for here, is the science of this podcast. But we do have lots to say about Recovery Lab, so we'll cover all that once we chat with Larry. Back here at Communal Creative Studios by Bo's for the third time now since reviving the podcast. Can still say I'm happy to be back. I think we all are. We'll see if that changes in March or not. I'm Ted Emmett, joined in studio by a whole buttload of people, as is, I guess, customary now for us. We're growing by one every time, it seems. Starting with the human equivalent of a participation ribbon, Dustin Moore. How's it going?
Oh, that's how I felt today in the gym. I'll tell you that for free. I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm here. Got a beer in front of me, and I'm with all you great sailors.
And you have a mustache.
Oh, yeah. It's hot.
Yeah, this, thank Christ, is only audio. You can't see that mustache. And I'll tell you what, I really got to hand it to this guy because he's too short to reach it. Kevin Walsh, how's it going?
Burn.
I thought last pod you were like, I'm going to be nice to everybody. I thought it was like a new
No, I just didn't.
Show.
I didn't have time to write jokes.
That's how we
time.
got us to all agree to come back. I'm going to be nice to everyone this time around, I promise. And 3 pods in, it's out the window. Yeah.
This isn't your turn to talk. It's Kevin's.
Yeah. I'm doing great. I mean, I'm still down here, but it's all good.
And this guy has eaten a lot of salads in the last 3 weeks, and they've all been better dressed than he is. Ryan Lund, how's it going?
Fuck you.
Was that it? That was your update?
Yeah, that's it. No, life's miserable right now. Eating healthy sucks.
So does puberty, it sounds like.
Yeah, why do I even come here? No, eating healthy is a tough mountain to climb, but we're halfway through, so let's keep it up.
Yeah, we'll talk about all that in a little bit. And still traumatized from when I made an ill-timed hair joke back in December, so I'm actually not going to say shit here. A coworker, Erin, welcome back to the table again.
Thank you. Pleased to be here.
I'm not going to say your hair looks great because friends don't lie to friends.
Thank you. Thank you.
And 2 people who have become basically royalty over on the couch because they're both sofa king terrible. Andrew Russell and the athlete, Kevin Strybosh, welcome back. I'm on fucking fire tonight.
I'm offended. I come here and I sit on this couch and I say a few words every 45 minutes or so, and that's how you treat me?
Yeah. We'll see you in 45 minutes. Andrew, how's it going?
I'm used to your abuse by now, kid. So back to the table.
Running the show here tonight in the studio all by himself is Fish. First time he's been left unsupervised with us, so good luck, pal. And because we really apparently like jamming as many people in here as possible, we have another new friend from down under. That's the first and last time I try Australian accent. Andrew's friend Kobe, not Carby, Dustin.
It was Cobby.
In studio with us tonight, visiting from Australia. So, of course, she's going to join us later on in the show. We're going to chat with her a bit and play a little game. Since our English slang, we've got such a good grasp of, we're going to learn a little bit of Aussie slang later on. So, my goodness, these intros are getting long, but let's officially get this show on the road. Kick things off with the Glad Game.
The Glad Game is brought to you by Alberta Asian Motorworks and Alberta European Motorworks. Family owned and operated in Red Deer for over 15 years. Offering full services for all Asian and European makes and models. And mention you heard Mike on the Oh Dear podcast for 10% off your next service until the end of March. Learn more at aemw.com and aamwrd.com and follow them on social media.
Threw a lot of letters at you there, but you did A-OK.
I'm still sick.
So gross.
Oh, I'm just gross.
Hey, you fucking rock that.
Thank you.
Yeah, until you coughed.
With a tickle in my throat the whole time.
Disgusting. I promise we're all friends, Kobe. This is just the usual stuff. So for the Glad Game, we've I don't want to hit this over the head. We've already talked the first couple episodes about being back and the support, but I think I want to actually formally say just how glad I am, and I think we all are, not only to be back, but like the reception we've had already from the community. We have returning sponsors, new sponsors, and I know for me, when I was just honestly really struggling with mental health, pretty much the whole first run of this, it's just been amazing to be back. Everyone, you guys have all been great too. So I just kind of want to talk about that for the Glad game. Just it's been amazing, 2-3 months being back.
I think one of the coolest parts about being back is hearing from some of our maybe arm's length friends or friends of friends that they're pretty pumped that we're back and that they have something to listen to when they're on the highway. Maybe they're going to work or whatever else. So I thought that was pretty neat to hear. Obviously, the community involvement from the podcast in the past and how it's going to set up for the future and involved with the chamber and the different businesses that have come on and come back. I think it's pretty neat. And we've kind of added to our crew, which is awesome. And I think everyone brings such a different dynamic to the table that it's something that you certainly want to do on a Friday night once a month to come hang out with a lot of great friends. So I'm happy to be back. I'm happy that you're in a good spot, Ted. And hopefully we're not putting too much work on you to put you down to where you were before. And hopefully we can keep this going.
Yeah, like Morsey said, Ted, we're here to lift you up.
And as the weeks go on, that's going to get easier and easier physically for you guys. Thanks to Strybosh.
Yeah, it's fucking tough right now. But well, we got you. We got your back.
We
buddy.
weighed the exact same.
Whatever.
Yeah, you guys are synced up.
But really, it's been fun too. And like we're getting Andrew more involved, getting Strybosh involved. Like we keep growing and it's been a lot of fun. And honestly, to see like our numbers for downloads and listens be not only the same as when we ended, but be a little bit higher too, is we always kind of say it in passing, but wanted to take this specific Glad game just to note like our gratitude for, I can't imagine this is a very easy podcast to listen to.
Are we in the teens yet for downloads?
Like, are we like...
Oh my God.
Like, is our demographic in the teens, or are we?
Oh, no, number of downloads.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That is
well,
good.
the teens are
So
gone.
we're doing something right.
Yeah.
How many episodes have you listened to?
Yeah, like all of them.
Like in the teens?
Yeah. We've done more than 19.
Oh, you're an Oh Dear fan? Name one episode.
How Ryan got his groove back. And if that's not a title, it should be of one of the future episodes.
That might be the title of this episode. I actually think, you know what? And just to stray a bit, I think if we look back at the titles of these episodes, I bet you 60 to 70% of them are something you said.
Well, I'm a title guy. That's why you guys brought me aboard.
Well, I'll mention one other thing, which I thought was pretty cool. So there's people just kind of stumbling upon the podcast or maybe they, stumble upon us on social media or whatever else. And I saw a comment the other day that I thought was pretty funny. My father answered, and it was one of a lady, and she said like she was listening to the podcast and she thought it was hilarious. And then she sees something on social media with all of us in it. And she goes, well, I love the podcast. I started binging it, but I have no idea who Lund, Kevin, Ted, Aaron. Well, I think she'd probably figure out who Aaron was, but
For the
maybe
bad
not.
hair.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. Like the people are just like stumbling upon us somehow. I think, Ted, you're doing a great job with social media, obviously, but pretty neat to see that just random people in Red Deer that have no connection to us have listened.
I'm just happy we could, like, Erin can get recognized again, because I know it's very... Listen, if you see Erin anywhere, don't be shy. Introduce yourself to her, because she loves it. She might not say who she is, like with Vincent. I know the podcast, guys, but she's very approachable.
It's true, actually. Every time I go to like a baby class at the library or whatever with Kenzie, I keep waiting for someone to be like, coworker. It's
Not yet?
never happened.
We'll get you there, Aaron.
You're not hanging out with the right people.
Yeah.
So apparently new mothers in Red Deer are not our demographic.
All right, that's that's a demo.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, when are we
into.
introducing
Yeah.
the Mommy Minute on this thing?
Well, we got to get to the teens first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
Hey,
enough.
I'm ready. I will do a mummy minute with Uncle Bobcat and off we go.
Uncle Bobcat is Lund, by the way.
Yes.
He's many nicknames. But hey, if anyone wants to sponsor the Mommy Minute, there we go. I will not be a part of that one.
I might join that one.
Yeah.
There's your selling point. But and hey, over on the couch, I guess it's still newer podcasters, like especially Strybosh. How has your newfound fame been? Have you found it yet?
I don't think so. And I'm still searching for the people who know who I am, although I'm not vain about it like Aaron is. And I hope no one recognizes me or says anything to me about this podcast in public. So Honestly, I'm off to a great start.
Yeah, actually, that's the right attitude. Don't talk to us about the podcast.
Yeah, you look like a different guy with that haircut.
Well, not yet. We're not talking about that yet.
Oh, we are.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Hey, keep listening, everyone, because we're going to talk about Strybosh's haircut, and it's going to be fucking riveting.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing special about it, but tune in later for sure.
All right. Well,
This is why you don't have any
Wow,
fans.
hot start.
Strybosh.
All right. Well, since let's circle back and just say thank you, everyone, honestly, for the support. We'll talk even more about it later, but it's been really great. And we'll move on from the Glad game. All right. So as I mentioned, this episode sponsored by Recovery Lab, another new partner of ours. I got a great partnership going with them as well during the Fit or Quit Challenge to use all their sport recovery. And one of the owners, the president of Recovery Lab as well, Larry Lowe, joining us to talk all things Recovery Lab. So without further ado, here we go. All right. Well, very excited to have a newish friend here of the podcast. We're sitting here with Larry Lowe, the co-owner, and as we found out, Mr. President, the president of Recovery Lab. So, Larry, you've met a couple of us before. You met Lund and I at the Business of the Year Awards, but welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. And yeah, you guys are doing a great thing with this podcast.
Oh, hey, you're already here. You don't have to flatter us anymore. Yeah.
Larry, I just have one quick question. Can we turn up the heat in that cryo tub?
We could.
Okay, that's all. That's all I
It'd
want.
be less effective.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get to that later on. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right.
bet we will.
All right. And that's
You bet
the
we
end.
will.
Thanks for joining us, Larry. Yeah.
Appreciate everything. Have a nice evening.
No, I guess start from the beginning because Recovery Lab now is still a couple years old now. Craig, you said your
Yeah.
third birthday?
Just had our third birthday. So Recovery Lab is kind of the brainchild of Brian Isaac. So he's a friend of mine, and I work with him at Central Alberta Medical Imaging. And he came to me about 5 years ago and said, I've got an idea to kind of try and tie everything together in one location. And he said, would you be interested? I didn't hesitate. It was like, yes, I want to be involved. I think this is a great idea. I was, I participated in athletics through my youth and my early 20s and 30s and 40s and now into my 50s. And I said, yeah, that's exactly what we need. My kids are athletic, his kids are athletic, and there's always that missing piece of recovery, right? We train, and we don't recover properly.
Tell me about it. Yeah. That's all we do, right? Lund is train. Yeah.
Hallelujah, Ted.
Yeah. So when we talked about what we wanted in the business, massage was obviously kind of a linchpin for us, right? Like that's a great model. Soft tissue work is fantastic for you. And then we started looking at how the pros recover. What do? They do ice baths. And above that, they do cryo spa, which is different. And we're going to talk about the differences between just an ice bath and a cryo spa. They do infrared sauna, and they do Normatec compression. So those are kind of those three modalities that they do on their own without another practitioner. There's osteopathy and there's physio and there's chiropractic and there's all that type of stuff, acupuncture. But those three things, we said we have to have those and we want to have what the pros use. So we did the research. We found out that cryo spa is kind of the thing for professional athletes. Normatec compression is what professional athletes use. And infrared sauna was just kind of starting. And now, it is very common amongst professional athletes. So that's kind of how we got going. Had a bit of a tough start with our business because we started our leasehold improvements in, February of 2020. Yeah.
Because March was
September 2020, we opened.
So
we had some rough
right
times.
before COVID, you started building.
Yeah.
then
Like March it started. Yeah. And we were started building in February. So we had made the decision. It's like, we got to go, right? We're already started. Let's go. And we're fortunate. We did some moving around with our business model and we're still here today. So we're very happy about that.
And a really unique place too. And for anyone who hasn't been there, you're in, what is that square called? All I know is it's the busiest parking lot I think I've ever been in my whole life.
Yeah, so at Notre Dame Plaza.
Right.
Yeah, so there's the St. Mary's Clinic there. Camus has a clinic there. It's a great location for us, close to the schools, which is great for kids coming for massage or physio after classes, the hockey academy, all that stuff. It's right there. It's just a tremendous location for us.
Are you seeing quite a few kids starting to do this, or is your demographic right now kind of the guys our age or older?
Yeah, really, it's like age 13 and up. So we see lots of teenage hockey players coming for cryo routinely. It's really all ages. And then it's right up to, people into their 60s that are finding benefit from this.
When the cryo is something we all, at least Walsh London, I found out basically right when our podcast ended, quote unquote, we went and tried it out because it was a big thing, still is a really big thing. There was always like the cold showers, but being like, I know you've told me already that tub specifically has like some added benefits, whether as opposed to me having a cold shower or shoveling some snow in the tub at home.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, cold water in general is great for you, right? There's lots of research coming out now that says cold water is fantastic for you. A cold shower is fantastic for you, but it doesn't necessarily give you all of the benefits. The thing about the cryo spa is you get, number one, the depth of the water provides hydrostatic pressure on your legs and your body. So it helps to cause constriction of your muscles.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you actually mentioned that to me.
Yeah, I taught you that.
So I was mentioning before, but I was just there the other night and sitting in the tub, and I texted these guys after and I said they need a booster seat because I'm a shorter guy, and I noticed that I got shut up, Ryan. And but I couldn't sit down. I think I would have, but the water would have been like here. But it's because I noticed that it was so deep and I could definitely feel it on my legs.
Yeah, there's a pressure there, right?
Yeah.
So at least you went all the way up to your neck.
Yes.
Unlike some people.
Ted, we don't judge. Right?
Yeah.
Ted, we don't judge.
Oh, I do.
Well, not at Recovery Lab, we don't judge.
Oh, I do with the something static, metastatic pressure. That you need.
Hydrostatic pressure?
Hydrostatic, yeah. Metastatic, something different.
That's
I'll
different.
explain
That's
later.
not good, yeah.
I am getting the benefits I need by only going up to my waist. And one day maybe I'll be braver, but it's not today.
Absolutely.
I think that's fair because if it's just, hey, you were still there. You went halfway.
I have been there. I go for 10 minutes. I have been there almost every day since I got kicked in the leg by a horse. I got myself kicked in the leg by a horse. And
Babe, Aaron, back up. How did that happen?
it's not important.
I think for the story, it's very important.
I was overly confident. And a PSA to everybody is don't be confident with horses. They will kick you in the thigh and make you want to cry. But I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, that was
didn't
nice.
But
cry.
hey, anyways, we'll go back to Larry's interview here that he came for. Yeah,
It's all good.
But it's kind of like what? That's like second base of cryo tubbing is going up to your waist, and it's still you still get a lot of the benefits from it, especially if you have a gross injury
I
like
have a
Aaron.
specific
Absolutely.
injury.
Absolutely.
So before we move on, just how many days?
So I got kicked last Tuesday, so it's been like 9 days.
And you
I
still
think
haven't gone in past your legs? Okay, like this is...
I think I've gone 7 times. I got to above my belly button.
At that point, you might as well just go all the way. Someone's got to hold you accountable.
Yeah, or someone's got to hold you down.
I asked that when I came in for my first appointment. They were like, okay, here's everything and what you need to know. And I was like, will you physically dump me in the tub and hold me under? And that is apparently not a service you offer. But I was told that I could yell and that I could swear.
Well, I'm not sure about those last two things, but certainly it gives me some positive relief that our staff are saying they're not going to hold you under the water. So
they were very helpful, just not quite as much as I needed.
Customer service isn't suffering in that way.
No, they were great.
So some of the other things with regards to, differences of these things. So we've got the hydrostatic pressure of the water from the depth. We add sea salt and we add Epsom salts. So that salinity also draws fluid out of your tissues. And then it's maintained at a constant temperature. So it's hooked to a chiller. So as you're sitting in there and your body warms up the water, it'll cool it down and try and maintain a temperature of, we have it at 10.5 degrees Celsius, and it'll maintain that temperature within 0.5 degrees. So it's always kind of keeping it consistent. So really, those are the three big differences from doing it elsewhere.
Are there any benefits to going colder than that 10.5?
Not really, no. The temperature people talk about is between 10 and 14 degrees is where it is kind of optimal for you. I've been colder. Like I went in Lake Louise in November and it was 6 degrees. We were going in Sylvan. We had to walk across ice to find open water, and we were going in that, and it was obviously 0. Yeah, it's just colder.
So it's like colder and less time versus you do up to about 10 minutes in the cryo tub, right?
Yeah.
Recovery lab.
Yeah, you can go up to 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it's the law of diminishing returns.
Mm.
You're just going to get colder. And some people too, I mean, you don't have to, right? There's lots of data out there that says 4 minutes is great. That's a kind of a therapeutic time where you're going to get some benefit from that. Anything longer than 10 you're just being tough.
So what's your standard when you go in?
I've kind of been mixing it up a little bit. So I was going 10 all the time. And then I was doing some research and listening to some experts on this. And they said, when you start feeling comfortable, you can get out. And we'll talk about kind of the mental health side of it and into that here in a bit. But they said, yeah, get that kind of dopamine rush, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. And once you kind of calm down, that kind of effect is gone. If you're doing it for mental health, you can get out after that.
And I have found, because I think last year I did about 2 months where I tried to go almost every single day. And I think it's one of those things, I know there's a lot of actual health benefits, but if that's all it is like go in, do something really tough for 10 minutes and then leave, like that feels pretty great too, honestly.
Yeah.
I do find it's kind of like going for a run where you hate every minute of it, but at the end of the day, you're like, I did something really good today. And I find that with the cryo, like every time I've done it and I'm there and I make it through, I'm like, I'm the best at this. Like I really did something it feels really good.
Yes, yeah.
Like that alone is a big part of it.
But then too, I would talk about the other benefits. I know one is obviously reduces inflammation. Like it's I've done it before a workout. I've done it after a workout. It's almost kind of like whatever you need it for.
Yeah. I mean, talk about the physical benefits of it. And we talk about increased muscular and vascular constriction, contraction. And that's just the cold water causing that, right? And the hydrostatic pressure of the water. There's a bit of an anesthetic effect from the cold water as well. So if you've got an injury, you get out and you're feeling like, hey, I think I'm better. And that's also mentally good for you, right? To feel better. You guys are probably experiencing this in your workout challenge with delayed onset muscle soreness, right?
Oh, it's not that delayed.
So, you get that lactic acid buildup. This helps get rid of that. It helps get rid of that lactic acid. So the next day, you're not quite so sore. I got to mention a caveat about that though. There's some research saying that if you're in like heavy lifts and you're trying to really build muscle, you want to stay out of the cryo day of workout because it's something called muscle adaptation blunting. So all the things it's doing to your muscles to get rid of that lactic acid is also stopping the proteins from going in and repairing the same way. Okay. And when muscle fibers tear and they get repaired, they get bigger. So there is a caveat with that. And I just want to mention that. And I think for the average person, right, it's not going to make that big a difference. But if you're you're a bodybuilder, that's going to make a difference. Yeah. So decreased inflammation can help with your arthritis pain, general brains and strains and hematomas, back pain, shin splints. Excellent for shin splints.
I've tried everything to get rid of shin splints and that did it, honestly.
Yeah. Between that and Normatec compression, if you combine those two. Yeah, fantastic. It increases your immunity too. And they don't really know why. It might be because of an epinephrine release that you have when you get that fight or flight when you first get in. But there's definitely seems to be some research saying that you increase your immunity and then increases your metabolism. And we can talk about that.
I've noticed that. I don't know if anyone else noticed, like you go in the tub and then I get home. I'm always like, I'm a pretty hungry person already, but I feel like I'm ready to eat once I get home. Yeah. And I'm assuming a lot of that just has to do with your body trying to warm up, right?
Yeah. Thermogenesis, right? And you're converting some of your cellular energy into heat as your metabolism increases. So absolutely that. It really comes down to fat in your body. So with your metabolism, we have two types of fat. We have this white yellow fat, and then we have brown fat. When you get into cold water or experience cold temperatures, your skin is going to send a message to your brain saying, I'm cold. Your brain's going to release norepinephrine. And what norepinephrine does is that fight or flight response. So it's not only a...
this is the part where you're going...
right. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
So we have this norepinephrine flowing through our body. Brown fat has receptors on it that pick up norepinephrine. And the reason it's brown is because it has mitochondria in it. And mitochondria are little engines in our cells. So this norepinephrine goes through your body, the receptors on your brown fat pick it up, and the mitochondria start going, hey, I'm going. So now your metabolism increases. So that's kind of what happens. And the more brown fat you have, the more cold adept you can be, and the higher your metabolism because you have all these mitochondria in the fat. So we're born with a certain amount of brown fat. Babies have more brown fat than adults because they don't have a shivering response yet. So they have to heat from within like that. Right. But then as you get older, you develop more yellow white fat, and you can actually convert that with this process.
But I didn't tell you guys all this, but there's a quiz at the end of this and everything. So make sure you're writing stuff down. Yeah.
Yeah. The neat thing about brown fat too, and my wife, she's like awesome because we're on a trip to Regina one day.
Oof.
And
Yeah, she is awesome.
8 hours,
Yeah.
8 hours. And I throw a podcast on about brown fat. 2 hours we listened to a podcast just about brown fat. There's some interesting research about it as well, where it's taking some glucose out of your blood. So they're thinking it can decrease your risk of type 2 diabetes because the mitochondria take that energy in the form of glucose. So some neat stuff.
I think ice baths in general as like a historical thing have been around for a very long time.
Yes.
Do you know how far back?
Well, I
They
mean,
invented ice.
Scandinavian countries, I mean, this is normal there,
Yeah.
right? They just do this. Winter swimming is becoming super popular on the coast. There's all kinds of people doing that. So yeah, it is nothing new. It's coming more to Western culture now.
And you're
it's-
perfecting it
Yeah.
with your cryo spa.
and there's more research on it.
Yeah.
So you can actually kind of measure the benefits, measure the results now.
And
which
this is the Recovery Lab. You obviously saw the opportunity to bring this like a little bit more science to everything as well. And it's the only place right in central Alberta that has one of these cryo spas.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh,
yeah.
And we'll talk, I guess, if we'll move on a bit, because there's the whole sport recovery area there, right? Like it's huge up there. And you've got Norma Tech, which is way better than the cryo spa. And in the fact that you go, you get cold, and then you just sit there and let these like booties massage your feet and legs, right? Is that the scientific way of describing what Norma Tech is? Yeah.
If you go on their website, that's exactly what they say. Yeah.
I wrote it for them.
Right? I thought that was your copy.
Yeah,
I thought
I'm their
that was your
science
copy.
guy.
You're all over that. Yeah. The Normatec is great as well because it's another type of compression. So their pants, you slide them on. There's a program that runs to pump up bladders from the toes that all go all the way up to the hips, and it does the same kind of thing. It gets rid of that lactic acid, that waste material in your muscles.
Would they be good for a week-old hematoma?
It might be a little painful.
That's what I.
Yeah, it might
But
be.
I
no
thought
pain, no
maybe
gain.
it might be time to try.
Yeah, you could try it.
Yeah.
You could try
Maybe
it.
next week. Give it a few more days.
Yeah, and then we have the infrared sauna there as well. So when we talk about sport recovery, there's those three components to sport recovery. So the sauna kind of heats you up, gets everything loose and moving. Then you jump in the cryo and it constricts everything down and gets rid of all that inflammation. And then you have a little shower. Not a super warm shower. You want to have just
I
a
was told that
cool
not
shower.
to have a warm or hot shower after, which I thought was absolute bullshit.
Well, just warm up gently, right? Warm up controlled. That's kind of the reason why.
I know I go in, do the sauna, and then go right into the cold tub. Does it like make that feel more extreme? Or again, is that just me thinking that because I was in the sauna, it's going to feel colder?
I think it's, everyone's kind of individual with that. I actually find it easier after sauna. I don't know. I think everyone just has their own kind of feel for it, right?
I think what he's trying to say, Ted, is quit being a little bitch.
That's kind of that's what I got from it too.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting it scientifically.
Yeah. No, I speak medical.
I want to mention some stuff on mental health too, because that's something that we really didn't learn too much about before we started Recovery Lab and the cryo and the sauna and all this stuff. But cryo for your mental health, there's a lot of great data out there now. The one big thing is this dopamine release. Dopamine is our feel-good hormone. They've done studies on taking blood from people and checking their levels. And there's like a 200 to 300% increase in your dopamine levels after up to just 2 minutes in water that's between 10 and 14 degrees Celsius.
Oh.
So that's huge. There's also a decrease in your cortisol level that can last for up to 5 days. So cortisol causes stress. It also has an impact on belly fat. So that's a good thing. And then there's also an increased release of oxytocin, which usually we think about, well, maybe you don't think about, but I think about oxytocin as kind of in a pregnancy. They give it to people to
me too. Yeah.
stimulate labor.
Yeah.
Right. But that has an impact on decreasing anxiety. So there's a lot of interesting mental health things that come out of getting into cold water. You mentioned it earlier, Aaron, when saying it's just a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
So you can do hard things. And I think society in general is averse to doing hard things, right? We want to be comfortable. Our motto is get comfortable being uncomfortable. you know, because it helps you. It helps you grow as a person. So yeah, decreasing stress levels. They're talking about there's maybe some studies out there that are showing it could decrease your risk of dementia because of inflammation. Inflammation is the thing that seems to cause all the problems in your body. So when you can get rid of inflammation, there's a lot of things that can help. I find I have an increased attention after a cryo. So I'll go early in the morning before work, and I feel that I'm much more in tune and I'm much more effective at work. I just feel sharper in the morning.
Engaged, focused.
Engaged, focused.
Same reason why
absolutely.
anyone would have a cold shower
Yeah, that's
work,
right.
which is
Yeah,
still
just kinda
loony to me, but yeah,
fire you up.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I will say, actually, so I'm almost 7 months postpartum, got my horse kick. So I got a lot going on right now. But what you say about the sharpness actually is really true, because sometimes that mom brain and not being at work right now and watching a lot of crappy procedural TV, I constantly will say to my husband, can you get but the cryo really I go home and I do feel just a little bit more engaged and alert and just a little bit more on the ball.
Yeah.
For
Pay
sure.
better attention to your TikToks that
Yes.
you're watching. Yeah.
I understand the jokes. I'm in on it all. I get it. It's great.
And so, Larry, because it really is a challenge every time you go into it. I know for a lot of people, it's like just do it once and then it gets kind of easier every time. And I know last year, like I said, when we went and did it, and then you did a cryo tub challenge, I think in January last year, kind of unlimited. And I think it was try to go 25.
Yeah, try to go every
days or
day,
something like that.
for the month.
Yeah. And I think I only missed like 2 days.
Yeah.
And it just made such a huge difference, like doing it and going. And it is, again, that sense of accomplishment, and it becomes routine, which was really hard for me, was kind of establishing a routine, training for the 10K and all of that. Yeah, it's that obviously that's kind of the point of the challenge. And that's me right now telling anyone who's listening, like, do the challenge in March. It's worth it.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun. We have a poster board up at the front. We put stickers on when you come in and you do your tub. And I get a lot of this, and we talked earlier about, well, I hate being cold. Like, we all hate being cold. But I'll tell you, the feeling you get after is well worth being cold for, I think, 90 seconds. If you're in there for 90 seconds, you catch your breath, that fight or flight response is away, you control your breathing, you get comfortable, and then it's okay. But that first 90 seconds is kind of a critical piece to get through.
That is
right?
90
you
seconds.
want to bail.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, London and I went after, I think it was last week, after one of the workouts, and he went in, and what was, London, your goal was to do 6 minutes?
Yeah, I'd heard before that between 4 and 6 minutes was kind of all you needed.
Yeah.
So I was like, 4 or 6. Okay, I'll do 6. So I told Ted to let me know when 6 minutes is up. And then he was distracting me. We were talking about some bullshit. And then I was on to him. I'm like, okay, like it's got to be at least 6 minutes. He's like, all right, you're at 7.5 minutes. You might as well just do 2.5 more. And by that point, I was comfortable. Like my body was numb or acclimatized. So the last 2.5 minutes was really easy. It's that first 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell myself every time. Like, this sucks. But it's only for a very short period of time. I did have a question though. Like, I know you've done it a lot. Do you find it easier to do, or is it still just as difficult? Like, does your body get used to it over time, or is it still just as big of a shock to the system every time you go in?
I think that when you first submerge, right? When you first go to your neck, that doesn't wear off really. Like that first few seconds, I would say it's not 90 seconds now. That's probably like 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
But what I do find if I take a break from it for a while, like if I'm out of town or something for a few days and come back, it's a challenge again to get back into it. So yeah, you definitely habituate to that temperature.
A few weeks ago, I was in the cryo spa, and to this point, it's like that first whatever seconds you're trying to focus and breathe and kind of find that like center. And I love the sayings on your wall, like the breathe in and breathe out. I went through that, and about 4 days later, we had a men's league hockey game, and I'm going hard at hockey. I get off for a shift to the point where I'm like gasping for air. And literally I sat on the bench and I was like kind of in that fight or flight mode. And my head went, I was in the ice bath and I controlled my breathing And I kind of just took 10 seconds on the bench and got my breathing under control. And I totally went back to that experience in the tub, and it really helped me in that moment. And that was like, whoa, this is really interesting. So
life lessons in the cold tub.
Yeah.
And breath work is really kind of a neat thing too, right?
Yep.
If I'm coaching someone through a cryo session on their first time, I'll get them to do box breathing. So box breathing is you choose an amount of time. So if 5 seconds. So you breathe in for 5 seconds, hold your breath for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds, hold your breath for 5 seconds, and it just takes your mind off what you're going through because you're focusing on your breathing. And we have actually at Recovery Lab too, we have a really great breathwork person. So she offers breathwork classes, one-on-ones, group, all that type of stuff. So there's some really neat breathwork stuff there too.
That's what I was going to ask to quickly go over. There's probably almost too much to mention all in one breath, but there's a lot of different things too. Like you said, you've got massages, which are obviously great, and you've got the sport recovery, but you have a lot of other stuff that's pretty unique too.
Yeah, I mean, we started doing rapid massage, which is kind of new to Red Deer. It's just kind of an active release massage, and people are really feeling great about it. It can be quick. It can be like 15 minutes. And you're in and out, focusing on one area. We've got a physiotherapist back with us again. So she just started a few weeks ago, and she's doing great work, and she's very hands-on. We bought her a squat rack and a leg extension machine because she wants to get people through range of motions. We have osteopathy as well, which is kind of a neat thing. One of our massage therapists did her osteopathy practitioner certification, and she's been doing that now for about 6 weeks. It's a combination of massage and physio and almost a bit of chiro and pressure points, active release, getting you through ranges of motion. I really enjoy it, actually. It's a nice modality. Then we got all the cryo stuff. We have breath work. We have reflexology. We have Reiki. There's a ton of stuff. And if you go to our website, it's all there. We're pretty happy with our booking process. We encourage people to book ahead of time now because we are getting quite busy and you just can't drop in anymore. That's kind of important to know. Like if you want to go, you got to kind of book it now.
But you guys have great hours, actually, like the nights that you're open till 10 p.m., especially for just doing a quick cryo or something, or if you have a baby sleeping at home and you want to leave your husband with a sleeping baby and go do cryo. Like it's great to do it at 9:30 at night.
Yeah. So I have a question on the Normatec, because I did that the other night after I went in the tub. That's filling with air?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. There's air bladders in there, and the program works from toes to hips.
Right.
And it also senses how big your leg is, so it won't overpressure you. It's a fairly intuitive machine, so it's not going to put more pressure on someone than another. It's a set protocol.
I did notice that actually, because I had shorts on and I had to rearrange just to make sure, because the first time...
Is that a brag?
No, it's because my shorts were bunched up. But because it comes up your leg, right? Like from the toes up. And so the first time I was like, oh, this is going to be uncomfortable next time it comes. And so I kind of rearranged, but then the next time it wasn't as hard.
Did you do the cryo tub first? Because if you do the cryo tub first, you don't have to worry as much about bunching. And that one has two. You could do hips, or I know we had Lund kind of starfishing in the arms one.
Yeah,
too,
Michelin,
right?
Michelin Man.
Yeah, is that real, or are you guys just punking me?
No, that's on our website. It's kind of the joke side of it.
Geez.
No, arms are great.
Yeah.
We have the arms, the hips, the legs. Go with a couple of guys or ladies and hang out.
We needed the arms one after a couple of Strybosh's workouts, honestly. So for a week we were all hurting. So it's nice to use all those. So really, Larry, just circling back to just go to your website. Yeah. Right, is the biggest thing, because there's so many different things, and it is kind of neat to like explore the different type of things. I think in the last year I've done a lot of things I didn't think I would do, like especially with the cold tub.
No, it's great. I mean, and we got to look after our bodies. If the last couple of years told us anything, your health is the most important thing that you have. It doesn't matter how much money you have, unless we talk to the accountant, he's going to tell us something different. But it's your health, right? And things you can do for yourself. These are not complicated things. It takes time and effort and commitment.
They're tough things.
Like
Aaron said, it's a mental obstacle and challenge to sit there and go, I'm going to sit in here for 6 minutes. And it's going to be fucking cold,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do it. And then you do it and it's awesome.
Ted had luckily warned me, like, don't dip a toe in for your first time.
You just have to go.
You have to go
Yes,
in.
yes.
But I was saying, like, the room is nice and warm and you can shut the door and you're getting ready to get in. And just before you touch that water, you look down and you go, it could be warm. Like, this feels really nice. This could be warm. But if you just dip a toe in and you feel, like one leg just has to go straight into the bottom and let it happen.
Do you put music on if you're in there by yourself?
TikTok. I literally, because I am short and I only go like to my waist or a little bit deeper, I kind of hang over the side of the tub and I watch TikToks, but I'm completely distracted. It's great.
And see, I do the opposite, not to
No.
shit on your method, but for me, it's like the sauna and the cold. It's like 45 minutes of no phone, just alone with, maybe not plural thoughts, but alone with my thought. And honestly, I've done a lot of like podcast thinking and stuff in that time. So it's kind of nice for someone like me who's always on their phone to just disconnect for 45 minutes, go sweat, and then
You're doing it right, Ted.
wipe off the sweat and then get in the tub. Yeah.
Larry, I got another question here. Just speaking about health, I just got over a cold recently, and I was wondering, is there any evidence that support, like, does the cryo tub help when you're sick?
You probably want to stay out of the cryo when you're sick. Sauna can help.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would stay out of the tub if you're sick.
That's I came to that conclusion as well too.
Yeah.
But good to know.
But the sauna is like, Lund was sick. I knew I was going to catch it. Felt a cold. Didn't get sick, but felt it coming on a couple days in the sauna. And again, I feel like sweating it out is, and without going to the gym, because that sucks when you're not feeling good and going to the gym. So you can just sit there. Those infrared saunas are quite nice too, because it's just, you go in, they're the exact temperature you need, and there's no screwing around with rocks or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a deep infrared, so it's a penetrating infrared.
I did feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be talking out of turn, so you might have to cut it. But I know the
Don't worry, we cut a lot of your shit.
so it's fair. But the Red Deer Fire Department got infrared saunas for exactly that reason, is the difference between a kind of traditional sauna and the infrared for post-fire incidences. They go into the saunas, they take bikes in there, and they cycle to just kind of...
Flushing toxins.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more question for you, Larry.
Yes, right.
I recently purchased a sauna suit. Should I wear that in the sauna?
I wouldn't recommend wearing that in the sauna.
Or
Or at
anywhere. Yeah.
Good to know. Okay.
Just do the work.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
So Larry, I guess to start to wrap things up too, I know when it comes especially to sport recovery, like kind of a lot of packages you can do, right? There's single use, there's 5, you can do the cryo, sauna, and Normatec all in one, and also like monthly packages for each, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We've got all kinds of options for people. You know, if you're able to go often, there's a break-even point where you'd say, I'm just going to buy a monthly package. And we've got a neat promotion that we started right at the very beginning for people that are just trying it out. For $40, you can go every day for a week.
Wow.
Just for 1 week, though.
Yeah.
It's not like 7 times over a month, which Ted tried to get that.
Yeah.
Right? But we said, no, Ted, sorry. You got to go consecutive days. Because, and you guys know, because you've been in it, if you go once, you might go, oh, I don't think so. But maybe your third time, you go, oh no, I like this. This I'm seeing a real benefit from this. So it's important that you don't just go one time and judge it. You want to go a couple, 3, 4 times and then make a decision. And if it's not for you, it's not for you, right? But I think most people find it's beneficial.
That's Lund's saying, his catchphrase is, I'll try anything 4 times. So.
I will say,
only 2 more to go.
going with an injury has absolutely any skepticism I might have had, or thinking that somebody was just trying to make me get really cold, 100%. And doing the sauna and then the cryo, I have physically seen the differences and been able to sleep at night from the throbbing in my leg because it's working so well. So 100%, like, I am endorsing this.
Yeah.
Well,
plot twist, your horse actually works for Larry, and they're paying it to go kiss people, right?
Yeah, that investment's
there's
paying
guerrilla
off.
marketing, and then there's horse marketing. Well, Larry's never coming back. That's for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But thank you so much for coming, Larry. We'll start to wrap up here again. But it's just so much cool stuff about Recovery Lab. We learned a lot tonight. And again, for people, just go to your website or call. And I've noticed too that, and boy, after our tens of listeners hear this, it's really going to be blown up. But it's something you want to try to book ahead of time, right? You can't be like the Ryan Lunds of the world. You may or may not get in if you're a last minute booker.
Well, Ryan is a VIP. So, I mean, we can get Ryan in whenever Ryan wants to.
Damn right, Larry.
You got that. You got that. And we certainly encourage, all of our athletes, like we talked earlier about, we're training like professionals. Like you guys are hitting it with your fitness challenge, right? I mean,
we're hitting something.
You're training. You're training. You guys you train like professionals. And I see lots of young athletes, right? I mean, they're training. These young hockey players are training. I don't think people are paying enough attention to their recovery. And it's as important as the training to make sure that you're taking care of your body. So we really encourage our young athletes to take care of themselves.
Awesome. And then going back to the cryo challenge, for people to sign up, can they go online? Is it easier to call? And that starts March 1st?
Yeah, I mean, either or.
Yeah.
Either or, but it's fun. And
I will say from experience, that is the way to get into it, is to do just like we're doing with this fitness challenge. You add the word challenge and it is quite motivating. So anything else, Larry, that you want to add that we kind of missed? I know we took you all over the place. You got the full Oh Dear experience there. We were on the rails a little bit.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your show. Yeah, we're passionate about recovery. That's what we're passionate about. And then we're excited about where we're going to go in the future. And we're always looking at new modalities and new people coming in and what they can bring to the business.
Awesome. Well, Larry, thanks again. I think on behalf of everyone too, thank you to you and Recovery Lab for the use of all the sport recovery for basically till the end of this challenge. I know for me already, it's been a big help. So love Recovery Lab. Love what you've all done there. And it's been really great. I guess, can we call you a friend now? Are we there?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it okay? I should ask.
Is that am I a friend of the show now?
You're a friend of the show. You're a friend of ours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know, don't put that on a business card or anything, but internally it's
going to be on my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's going to be on my LinkedIn.
A huge thank you again to Larry for joining us and to Recovery Lab for being our episode 35 sponsor. Really interesting interview there. Again, I didn't think we'd ever get into that much science in the podcast, but especially for us now going through this fitness challenge, some great stuff to know and a huge resource in Central Alberta there in Recovery Lab.
Yeah, it was really fun to exchange ideas with from one fit guy to another. Now it's nice to share what I've learned and pick up stuff he's learned. And it was very educational, and I really enjoy going to Recovery Lab.
And just one thing Larry wanted us to add as well, before you go do any kind of a recovery, especially for an injury, of course, to consult a doctor first. But once again, if you're taking medical advice from a Red Deer podcast, I wouldn't do that. But again, always consult a doctor before you start doing anything new. But again, thanks to Larry, and looking forward to continuing to use Recovery Lab throughout this challenge. Since we are a podcast about nothing, it's time for our segment specifically dedicated to talking about just that. So let's move in to Shooting the Breeze.
Pew, pew.
Kobe's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
He didn't shoot the breeze, did he? He shot
No, he
first.
shot and then it breezed.
People, listen to this.
No wonder Strybosh doesn't have any fans.
Because he can't do cool sound effects.
Shooting the Breeze
Bang, bang.
is brought to you by Red Stag Barbershop, an authentic experience with a modern twist. Your locally owned grooming spot with locations in Capstone, Gasoline Alley, and Sylvan Lake. It's where friends gather for top-notch haircuts and traditional hot shaves, all while enjoying a cold craft beer or cocktail. With their easy online booking, they make sure your time with them is not just looking great, but feeling at home. Red Stag Barbershop, where every visit feels like catching up with old friends.
All right, so let's start off by sending out a huge thank you to Red Stag, a new partner of ours, because they've paired up with us actually in a big way. The owner, Clayton, reached out to us to see how we could work together, and we're very excited to announce a new series, Barbershop Talk, which is going to be social media and YouTube once once a month, basically just a really casual interview with someone interesting while we're sitting in the barber chairs. Because I think, unless you're like me, because I hate making small talk with my hairdresser, but otherwise, we're going to do some, have some fun with interviews there. But very excited to partner with Red Stag because they're a very unique business. And as we found out, they're actually a franchise, but a Red Deer based franchise, which is really cool. I don't know if there's too many of those around. So Dustin and Lund, you were with me when we met with Clayton. And first of all, my goodness, he's got a lot of stories, but it's just, that place is just such a cool vibe.
Oh, very cool vibe. They've got it's kind of like a vintage retro movie. That's the vibe I got. And they also have a garage door there. So in the summertime or even spring, they'll be able to open that bad boy up and you'll be able to feel the breeze go through your nice, fresh haircuts. So,
while you shoot the breeze with your barber, yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. And I've never gotten a shave at the barbershop before. So
it's wonderful.
That's it's on my bucket list, I guess. So I hope I make it to do that.
I just thought it was such a, like you said, cool vibe, but it just seems so casual in there too, right? Like I've been to some in the past where it's like you're just going there, you're getting in, you're getting out. Like this felt like it was almost like a hangout spot,
And it's licensed too.
Yeah, it felt like you could go down there and spend a couple hours, just hang out and chat with them while they cut hair if they're cutting someone else's hair. So really cool vibe. Looking forward to checking it out more and getting a haircut and a hot shave. And certainly thank you to Clayton for entrusting us with being able to come down there and bring some cool people from Red Deer to have a pint and chat barbershop.
Really, all the people who work there too, like he told us, he hires characters, he hires personalities. So highly recommend checking it out. They do haircuts, hot shaves, eyebrow waxing, and all of that. They've got the grooming products. And so they also, not only are they partnering with us for that segment, but Clayton offered to basically give us all haircuts. And Strybosh already, this was what we were alluding to earlier, took advantage of that today. Honestly, I didn't know you got a haircut because you always keep your hair short.
I'm digging it.
I barely even recognize
Steven knocked this fade out of the park. It was a great experience there. Booking online, super easy. Showed up, everyone was super friendly. Steven came over, brought me to his chair, and we just...
That's a good start.
I didn't have to stand up for this haircut. So
sounds like a haircut to me, yeah.
Checks out, yeah.
We honestly had like a great conversation for 20, 25 minutes, and my haircut was done, and now I look great and feel great, and I'm ready to go with the rest of my life.
Yeah. Wow. Did it feel like catching up with an old friend?
You know what? It did. I learned a lot about Steven, and I like to think that he learned a lot about me too.
I might just go ask for the Strybosh. I'm liking it.
Did you get your nose hair waxed? I think they do that.
Oh, they do that too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think you guys should all do that.
I've seen videos of that. That looks
I've
painful.
done it. I think we almost should do it like a contest. Like if you get a question wrong, you got to rip, or someone else gets to rip it out. So, but we will be taking advantage of all of that. And I know I decided with this fit or quit challenge that we're going to talk about too. I think you can notice I'm looking a little scraggly. I'm going to grow out my beard. I'm not going to get a haircut till the end of this fitness challenge. And so it'll just be a full transformation.
You're going to be a beautiful butterfly at the end of all this. But right now you're just kind of a caterpillar.
Yeah, a fuzzy one.
Fuzzy one. Yeah. Perfect.
Anyways, again, a huge thank you to Clayton and Red Stag for all of the support. And make sure you keep an eye out for Barbershop Talk on social media coming very soon. And in the meantime, book your next haircut, hot shave, nose hair waxing, whatever. Make sure you check out Red Stag. And since we already kind of talked about the fit or quit challenge, I think it's February 2nd when we're recording this. So we're just about at the halfway point. I know, Kevin, you've come up with some fit or quit superlatives for us, some awards. But before you get to that, being the one, I think we're 3 weeks in now, we're halfway through the workouts that you've been running for us. Would just give us your overall impression on how you think things are going.
Well, going into it, I wasn't really sure what to expect, to be honest. But through 3 weeks, I'm pretty impressed. I think you've all been really good and really committed for the most part. Dustin had a few days that he had to miss. Lund got sick. Like things come up. But for the most part, you guys have been awesome at coming in. You put in the work, really good about asking questions about the workouts. You want to do everything right. Even in 3 weeks, there's a noticeable difference in all three of you in how you look.
Oh, how we look.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I will add to that, Kevin, it's been really great. I think part of the reason we did this challenge is, again, it we're kind of motivating each other. It's been a lot of fun with all three of us working out. I think attendance, the only time anyone's missed is because of like a legitimate reason. It was never laziness. Everyone shows up and works hard. So I know for me, it's been really motivating. And Kevin, having you plan out the workouts for us and kind of standing over us is pretty huge. So I know you don't have to do that. You don't have to take the time to do that. And we really appreciate it. And I've enjoyed working out at the Bulldogs Training Center.
You know, we talk about Red Stag and the casual atmosphere. What you have going on there is really cool for a gym. You come in, you're with your buddies, and it doesn't feel like we're there an hour when we're kind of bullshitting and we're pushing each other through workouts. And you're so well organized and actually have put a lot of thought into the workouts that we're doing. You almost killed us today. I just recovered at 6 p.m. tonight, but I've had a great time doing it, and I look forward to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday stuff because it's something fun to go do with your buddies. And I don't think I'd be able to do it alone, for sure.
It is nice just shutting your brain off when you're there, and you just have to follow what you've planned. And for me, someone that hasn't really spent a whole lot of time in the gym, it is nice to, I know. It is nice just to have that coach to teach you how to do things the right way. We've been doing it for 3 weeks now, and I have learned quite a bit. I have started to feel quite a bit better. My recovery time is down quite a bit from that first week of hell. Oh my God. But with that being said, I feel like you've been tough but fair. I think you started at the right speed for us, and it does feel like we're slowly ramping things up. So don't go too hard these last 3 weeks, but keep it up. Keep it up.
You know, and sometimes you go to the gym, you just do what you're comfortable with. And what is that?
It's a present from Ryan Lund.
What is it, McDonald's?
It's just a thank you to you two for all the work that you put in. Getting me motivated to go to the gym and pushing me. So Aaron, just pull out those two meals. Wasn't sure who wanted the 10-piece, who wanted the Big Mac, but I'll let you guys decide who wants to eat it. I already ate mine hours earlier, so.
And you ate the pizza I brought you tonight.
Yeah. I've had a big carb day, but this is for you. This is honestly from my heart. I mean, if you don't eat it, I'll be a little bit heartbroken. Aaron, that's not for you.
I've been working out.
Thank you. I hate it. I was wondering why you showed up with a backpack, to be honest, and why Walsh left mid-sentence to get that. But you know what? I'm very proud to say that I am not tempted by that one bit because I already had a burger and tater tots for lunch today.
I will say these sight gags are great for a podcast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, it's a long podcast. You might get hungry.
Yeah. To get back on track, thank you. That was very thoughtful of you, but I'm going to very respectfully pass. But going back to, I think we can all agree, like doing this, and if you are looking to get back into shape, trying to find whether it's group fitness or just someone, like if you have someone as nice as Kevin to just plan these workouts for you, I find I do the same things at the gym that I'm a little more comfortable with. I can do some cardio, I can do some running and that, but doing things like the sled push today and then needing an hour to recover that's exactly what we need to get back into shape.
Yeah, great job, Kev. I lost use of my arm for 1 full week, and I took 4 hours to catch my breath today.
Keep it up, you jerk.
If you thought today was hard, next Cardio Friday is going to be even harder. So I am very excited.
So Kevin, I guess you came up with some awards, some halfway awards. So let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, you've all been very impressive so far. So I came up with, I think, 12 awards. Yeah.
I hope it's a clean
That's how
sweep.
good you guys have been so far. So I'm going to start off on a positive note. So that's the most impressive moment, which happened this week. So this week I saw Dustin stand and squat on an exercise ball.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
is like professional athlete type of activity. And he did need my help to get up and balance on it, but he did one full squat on there, which was very impressive. And an honorary mention to Lund, who I think in the second week ran on level 9 on the treadmill for 1 minute, which I thought was
when you
very
say
impressive.
it like that,
That's fast.
I did more stuff than that in the second week, though. That's not the only thing I did.
I'm just saying, like, being 2 weeks in for you to be able to do that, I thought was very impressive. So next award is the most miserable moment, which goes to Ryan Lund. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ryan Lund, during the incline walk that we did last Friday, was the most miserable person I've ever seen in my life. And it was hilarious.
Well, I don't think
To
it was
Ted,
hilarious.
and I.
Yeah, like I would talk to you and you wouldn't even look over. I was like, hey, like we're halfway and you're just looking forward. Like, I hate this so much.
That had nothing to do with the incline walk.
It's because you were walking beside him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I was good company.
No, that was brutal. I've never done an incline walk like that before.
You never walked up a hill?
I have, but not on 12.
Like 20 minutes after doing
That's
like a whole
That
bunch of
was
other
a
stuff. Yeah.
long. It felt like a lot longer than 20 minutes. Usually when I do an incline walk, it's on like level 3 or something. This is like the side of a fucking mountain.
Next award is Best Snacks, which goes to Ted, who brings an Uncrustable and eats it after every workout.
Because I'm a 35-year-old man. Why wouldn't I eat an Uncrustable?
Yeah, that's fair. That checks
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
It is you know what? The best post-workout snack, though, I'll tell you that. And there's no crust, so I'm saving on carbs.
It's perfect. Perfect food, really. And Ted shared one with me, so I felt like I had to give him an award for that.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So if Uncrustables is listening,
Yeah.
we would appreciate some Uncrustables.
Well, if we get the Uncrustables account, you can
Oh
kiss
my
this body
God.
goodbye. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Okay, next award, probably my favorite award, most likely to poop their pants. This could have gone to any of the three, but it turns out we had a wild card, and that was Aaron's baby, Kenzie, who had a full-on blowout just before we started the workout earlier this week.
I think Kevin almost threw up.
I think we almost all.
I'm just glad it wasn't me because it was that we were all in the running for that award.
I saw Len walking on the treadmill, just,
Like,
and I'm
how
just
much-
sitting there like, Aaron, like, what is wrong with these guys? Like, it's not
Right?
even that bad.
I didn't know a baby could produce that much poo.
She's small but mighty.
Oh my goodness. What are you feeding her?
We're starting solids.
Oh.
That did not look solid.
Too many Uncrustables.
Oh.
So anyways, could have been any of you, but congrats to Kenzie.
You just don't want to be 1st.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Next award is the most moist, which goes to Ted for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
Because everyone's going to be moist when they see my new body, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. Or
It's a good
maybe the
award.
puddle underneath the spin bike that you
Yeah, you
leave
gotta-
every time.
You have a leak in your roof wherever I go. No,
So-
I accept.
Perfect, thank you. On the opposite side of the spectrum is least moist or most dry. That would be Dustin Moore, who I finally got to break a sweat today. But the fact that this
killed him.
man does, the fact that this man does not sweat an ounce during any workout is quite impressive, actually.
Is it weird?
It's
a little
very
weird.
yeah.
I think you should go to the doctor, man. It's probably a medical condition.
No, it's not. It's a healthy, hard, and athletic body. God,
It's not
figure it
that.
out.
I think all your sweat glands are just plugged.
Yeah.
Hit the sauna, man.
Next up is most photogenic, which goes to Ryan Lund.
Yeah.
Have you seen his post-workout videos? Peace and love.
Have you seen his calves?
Yeah, those calves are.
Those are dad calves.
If I don't win the Cav Award, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Yes. So that is an award. And you know what? We'll just go straight to it. Most surprising moment, watching Lund do calf raises and realizing he has the best dad calves around.
Well, I mean, they're pretty good. I think you guys just have to focus on your calves a little bit more.
But you don't. That's the thing is you just have you're like that 45-year-old dad who coaches T-ball twice a week and has the biggest calves around.
That's just one of the muscle groups I focused on.
I think you must have a Toblerone bar at the top shelf of your cupboard.
Yeah,
Congrats,
you got
Lund.
me.
We just,
I don't know what to say. Wow.
we just got to get you some New Balances and a grill and you're all set. Next up is most complaining. This one obviously goes to Ted, once again, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Your workouts are ass and you're a piece of shit. So I accept.
Thank you.
See you on Monday.
Yeah, see you Monday. Biggest fail. This goes to Dustin, who wasn't able to drive his truck after the first workout because he couldn't lift his arm.
Yeah, that was
That was a low point.
Yeah.
Anyways, congrats, Dustin.
Thank
I
you. Thank you.
hope you can use your arms again.
Yeah, I can.
This one, I mentioned earlier that I wasn't vain about people not recognizing me, but I am vain about naming awards after myself. So this is the Kevin Strybosh Try Hard Award, and this goes to Ted.
Oh,
What?
And honestly,
What did I try
Fucking
hard at?
try hard.
I think this is a compliment because I think that means you work the hardest when you're in the gym.
Fucking brown noser.
Yeah. Well,
Ted's usually the first one to show up and the last one to leave, so
Yeah.
that's probably fair.
I knew when we started this competition that me and Ryan would be in tough. I've seen Ted lose, was it 50, 60?
Both. I've lost it and gained it a couple times.
Yeah, but
First time was 80.
You haven't been back to the point where you lost a lot of weight and you worked your bag off.
Your tuchus.
Your tuchus.
You know what? I never really had an ass. That's the one thing. It just all stopped at the way I worked my gut off.
So I
more of
knew
that brown fat.
from the get-go, me and Lund are going to be in tough, and I think we are still in tough to beat Ted. I think it's a great goal for Lund and myself to just be over the 6%, because I think that would be insane. But Ted's got to be the front runner, and I agree wholeheartedly with your award.
Well, thank you.
I do have one more. It's everyone's favorite yearbook superlative, most likely to succeed. And this one actually goes to Ryan Lund.
Yeah, let's go. No explanation needed.
Yeah, podcast over. We're done. No, my reasoning is that Lund has come in since day one and he's put in a lot of hard work and he asks a lot of questions about the workouts and tries to do everything right. And I think he's on the right path to losing a lot of weight, at least in this 6 weeks. And I hope he keeps it up after.
Thanks, Kev.
Well, as an outside observer of this, I can say for sure that when I saw all three of you tonight, like you guys are all looking slim. So slimmer. I know there's still more to go, but I think you guys have been doing a great job. You're still with it. So I think you're on the right track, and good luck to the finish, and hopefully you keep it going after.
And hey, kudos to Erin, because she's been there with us almost every workout as well, whether she's got a baby or not, and not doing the challenge, but still it's motivating. The more friends there, the better, honestly.
She did try to get out of it by getting kicked by a horse, though. So
That is true.
nice try.
But I did run today for the first time in a very long time. I hated it, but thank you, Kevin.
And you didn't pee your pants.
And I didn't pee my pants, which is a really great milestone postpartum. So that should be a superlative for next time.
Yeah. And not that it's happened before. Like, it's not like every other time you've peed your pants and this time you didn't. You were just worried about it.
Postpartum, you get concerned about these things, and yay me.
I am happy when I don't pee my pants too. So.
It's a it's a good
you know what?
thing
Celebrate the small things.
Yeah.
You're right. That's a big part of this.
I'm actually impressed that you guys have stuck with it. I mean, it's, peer pressure is great for that, but kudos to you boys. I'm proud of you guys. And you do visibly look trimmer. So I will give you guys that. Keep it up. I'm sure in 3 weeks, you're just going to be like shredded abs and everything.
Yeah, actually, you know what? The biggest fitness tip I learned is buying bigger shirts.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Andrew, when are you going to see you in the gym?
Well, some of us have jobs and can't work out at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I get my workouts done at about 7 a.m. So you guys want to back the schedule up?
Jobs, Andrew, and are working at 7 a.m.
Okay, yes, you are, Ted. That was more of a stab at lunch, but
Some of us
10
are planning our futures, Andrew.
okay. In fairness, guys, Lund did win. What was the award you gave him for like hardest working or something? When Strybosh gave that award, I was sitting there thinking, like, who wouldn't hire this guy? Somebody give this man a job. He's working his ass off.
Some of us are bringing life into this world and raising it.
Whoa,
and so,
yeah. You do have the toughest job, Aaron.
I just have the time to go to the gym
Don't flip
at
my
11
guilt.
a.m.
Don't flip my guilt around on me.
No, I'd love to see you in there one day.
Have your people call my people, and we'll see if we can schedule it in.
We'll get you in before it's too late.
But I guess to wrap up, I think the challenge is going well. Eating, obviously, I think for everyone it's going to be a bit of a struggle, especially when people are putting food in front of your face. But look forward. By the time this podcast comes out, it'll actually be closer to the end of the challenge. But as always, we're going to keep posting stuff on social media, and stay tuned to that to stay updated. All right, as we move on here, I'm going to shoot the rest of the breeze real quick. Just a reminder again, Wannabe, a Spice Girls tribute coming up April 25th at Beau's Bar and Stage, presented by Oh Dear. Make sure you get your tickets. Starting to get a limited in the ticket amount. That's a fucking weird way to say. There's not a lot of tickets left, is what I'm trying to say. And hey, you know what? We're going to do another social media giveaway. So check our social media. It's by the time this comes out, we're going to do like a 2-week contest to give away 4 more tickets. So follow us on Instagram at Oh Dear. Actually, Oh Dear Podcast is our tag. I should give it right. So as we cap off Shooting the Breeze, I just want to talk about another huge partnership we just locked down. We've worked with the Red Deer and District Chamber of Commerce a number of times already in the past. And in addition to Barbershop Talk, we're going to have 2 more series that we'll be working on throughout the year for social media and YouTube with the Chamber. The first one is basically like a monthly feature on a Central Alberta business business, which a bit of a departure for us. We don't really do anything seriously, but this one is going to have a bit more of a serious tone because there are so many amazing businesses in Central Alberta, amazing business owners with great stories. So with great stories to tell, and that's what we want to do. The first business we're featuring is Johnson Spring and Trailer, who London and I met this past October at the Business of the Year Awards when they won New Business of the Year, and actually quite the story behind their business. Not sure exactly when that feature will be done, but make sure you keep an eye out for it on YouTube and our social media pages. And because we don't want to be too serious, we're also excited to partner with the Chamber to bring to life maybe my favorite idea we've ever come up with here on the podcast. We threw it around with Mike Pasman last episode of having Lund go in and work for a day, part of a day, however long he lasts, at Alberta Asian Motor Works, and then subsequently have him do that with some other Central Alberta businesses. So it was just a pipe dream to start, but now thanks to the Chamber and of course Riley and Fish here at Communal Creative Studios, Lund Employed is coming to life.
I'm going to get off that pipe and I'm going to get a job. Wish me luck.
Okay.
And tune in.
Oh
What
boy.
pipe?
The pipe dream?
Oh,
That sounded weird.
yeah.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? Don't let anyone dash your dreams. You can do it. So lots of work ahead for us, but really looking forward to working with the Chamber on both of these features and of course with Riley and Fish. So buckle up, fellas. You're really in for it, especially with Lund Employed. And on that note, because we really haven't put this in the universe for a while, I just thank you again, Riley and Fish, for always having us here at Communal Creative Studios. If you're looking for video work, whether it's for you, for your business, these are your guys. Make sure you get a hold of them. Find them on Instagram. You can get a hold of them through us, but we highly recommend them. I just want to give that plug because they've taken a lot of, I guess kind of poop that we've done and turned it into gold. So if they can do that for us, think about what they can do for you. All right. Now that that's all sorted, we're going to go for someone we haven't heard from since the very beginning of this episode because, Andrew, you've been very patient and silent over there on the couch, but it's time for, I don't know what this is going to be, if it's going to be a market minute or just the tips, but surprise us.
It'll be, I guess you could call it just the tips. Yeah, it's kind of just the tips. It's everybody's favorite subject when it comes to home ownership, property taxes.
Yeah.
So anybody who owns a home would have received their tax valuation, I guess, or what the city is assessing your property at in early January. And I've actually had a lot of phone calls about this year because, of course, your property taxes have likely gone up or your assessment's gone up. There is good reason for that because your property value has gone up, which is good news if you're a homeowner. So the market, obviously, in the last couple of years has gone up with all the people moving in from out of province. There's lots of demand. And so it has caused prices to go up, which is great news. So most of the phone calls that I've had have been, hey, my assessment's up 30 grand, 40 grand. I had one as high as 60 grand. So what we do as a service to our clients is we generally will actually go and look at the market and say, okay, do we feel their property assessment is fair? Because sometimes the city makes mistakes. For the most part, they're pretty good, but sometimes they do make mistakes and we'll pull comparables for you if there's an argument there that you need to go and get your tax rate adjusted. And so looking through them this year, they've actually been pretty darn close. The city has done actually a pretty good job from what I can tell. And so one thing that I've kind of had to communicate to a lot of people is that just because your assessed value has gone up does not necessarily mean your tax, actual payable amount is going to go up. It will because of inflation, if nothing else. But the mill rate hasn't actually been set yet. And so that doesn't happen until the city sets their budget. And so just because your assessment went up 40 grand, it doesn't mean that your taxes payable is actually going to be like $1,000 higher. I'd be very surprised if it's that much. But we likely will see a slight tax increase, but don't panic about it. The fact that your property value has gone up is great. So take advantage of that. And the other side of that is if you think your property assessment is too low, well, then congratulations. You're paying less tax than you probably should be. So good for you.
So Andrew, like when you're looking at what the city assesses versus what you could potentially get at the market, is that what you're looking at? Or what are you seeing as the difference between those numbers? Is it higher or lower?
It can go either way. I've literally had properties that we've sold for 100, 200,000 more than assessed. We've had some that are 100,000 less than assessed. So there can be big variations. And so what you have to remember with your taxes is when they send you that number, it's based on July of the year prior. So the assessed value you got in the mail in January is based on what the city deemed your value to be as of July 1st, 2023. So it's always a little bit behind, essentially. And so if the market's going down, well, then obviously it's probably going to be higher than you think. And if the market's going up, then it might be lower than you think. And so like I said, either way, it doesn't really matter until they actually set the mill rate. But market value is not assessed value. So don't necessarily think that just because the city has said your house is worth X amount of dollars, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't get you more or potentially less than what the city's got it pegged at. So
That's actually really good. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are in the same boat as me. As I saw that, I think my value went up whatever percent, and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't ask anyone. So there's a lot of people like I'm actually sitting here and I'm going, oh, this actually makes a whole lot of sense. And it's actually pretty valuable information. So appreciate the insight on that for sure.
yeah, and so what I would say is if there are any listeners that are really questioning their property taxes or they think their assessed value might be out of line, give me a call. I can quickly pull some comparables, look and see at the numbers, and generally, like I said, for what I've seen so far this year, and I've probably went over 20 or 30 of them, and they've been pretty close. There's some that are probably a little high, and there's some that are probably a little low, but generally they're within the ballpark, or they have been so far.
Andrew, do you come across a lot of people too who come to you, but they wait too long to, I guess, what is the term for it? Like disputing it with the city, or because there is a deadline for that, which is like the beginning of March, is it?
Yeah, so it's I believe it's March 12th this year, off the top of my head. So there is a limit. The other thing too is I actually did have a client that went to the city, and the city tax department actually sent them the comparables that they use to value the property, which I was really impressed by. Because normally they don't even give you the time of day, or that would have been my thought, is that they wouldn't give you the time of day. But the assessor actually reached out, gave them the comparables, showed them. I went over and looked at them. I actually found out there was a square footage discrepancy on that property. So the square footage that the city had on file was actually not correct.
What,
which
the government made a mistake? What?
They're people too, Lunt.
I don't get
They're
it.
people
What?
too. So in that situation, we were actually able to go back and they went and got it corrected. And so the city, they think like your square footage is based on what the permit was pulled for. And so if the permit, was pulled and then the house was changed after the fact, builder might not have reported it. Square footage could be different. That kind of stuff will affect your assessed value. If you're questioning it, what I would say is you can reach out to us on our website, shoot me a form, and I'll see if I can help you out.
All right, you heard here first. Rise up. Don't trust your local government. That's directly from Andrew Russell from Remax.
We are not affiliated with Ryan Lund in any way, shape, or form.
Tell him Lundy sent you.
Don't you want to run for office one day?
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, folks, he's unemployed. Don't listen to him.
Well, my next job is probably going to be mayor or maybe city councilor. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. You know what? I want to say thank you to Dustin and Ted again. I don't think my first offer conveyed how happy I was that you guys forced me to get in the gym again and start treating my body like a temple. And you guys have been so good these first 3 weeks. You have earned this gift. It's not for you to share. That's all yours. Okay. 3 donuts a piece. They go stale probably about an hour, so you have an hour to eat them. But thanks again, guys.
You want to tempt me with a donut and you give me an old fashioned and a Boston cream?
Yeah, I know.
What is wrong with you?
Give him a Dutchie, like the old fashioned plain cake donut. Yeah,
I gave you the good stuff, Ted.
This is not bad.
Yeah,
Another great sight gig for this podcast brought to you by Ryan Lund.
Yeah, everyone, there's donuts in front of us and about to go in the garbage, but thank you.
Is that what you call your stomach?
Oh! Yes.
All right. You don't have to eat them, but that's pretty rude.
Well, Just the Tips was brought to you by Andrew Russell and Associates at Remax Real Estate, the trusted experts for all things real estate in Central Alberta. Skip the sales pitch and get real advice from real people who offer real results. Visit their website at andrewrussell.ca.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew, for that. And let's just keep things rolling here as we head in to Deer Call.
He had that one locked and loaded.
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't know what the segment was going to be.
All right. Follow that up, Aaron.
Deer Call is brought to you by Cilantro and Chive, home of the Caesars that eat like a meal. Stop in at either location in Red Deer or Lacombe for the burger of the month and support a great cause, with $2 from every burger sold going back to the local guest chef's charity of choice. Cilantro and Chive, your favorite new destination to meet with family and friends for food, drink, conversation, and fun. It's just that simple.
One cool thing we haven't talked about with cilantro and chive, and London, Dustin, I know you were just there for the burger of the month, and kudos for having salads with it, by the way. Like, cheat days are necessary, but you guys also had a salad with it, so and there's no shot there. Good for you. But did you guys do the dome dining when you were there? I know it's a little warm out right now, but they have the domes right outside on their patio.
We didn't.
I think
I'm
it
glad
was
I
pretty
asked.
cool for somebody who's going on a date, or you're going out with a couple friends or something where you're going for drinks and you're going to spend more than maybe an hour there for lunch. I think it could be a pretty fun evening. I think they have either fire somewhere close to the domes or maybe even inside. I'm not sure.
It is a really unique, like something different,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, it's true to what cilantro and chive is, right? It's something different and fun. So we're gonna go. We did something different. I don't know if it was fun last time, but we were uncharacteristically negative when we did bad news bingo. It was fun. We got it out of our system, predicting like all the terrible news stories. So let's go back to the positives. And we actually asked this question, I think, episode 2 or 3. So going way back. So I thought we probably have a lot of different listeners and followers. So we wanted to ask this again, just what your favorite thing about Red Deer or even just Central Alberta is. And as always, when you comment on that on Facebook or Instagram, you're going in the draw for one of 2 $25 cilantro and chive gift cards. One of those winners is Liesel, who is one of at least 20 people who unsurprisingly said are all the parks and trail systems in Red Deer. Not surprised. I think that's far and away maybe one of the biggest things Red Deer can brag about. I know for me, growing up in Calgary, and Aaron and Strybosh are both from Calgary too, like there's the provincial parks there and stuff, and people say, oh, we've got, great trail systems everywhere. But in Red Deer, I just think it's cool the way everything's connected as well, and just really accessible.
It is nice on like whether you're out with the family for a bike ride or you're out by yourself and maybe doing a workout where you're like, I'm going to bike 20K, and you can bike through some really great areas of the city on that 20K. And still end up back at your house. So yeah, lots of options.
Yeah, or if you're out for a pint with the fellas and hop on a scooter, sober, and you can take those trail systems pretty much anywhere. As long as you live within the city limits, you're going to get back to your house. So another positive.
And when we were all running, Ted, Strybosh, when we were running together, we did run on some really beautiful trails, and there was a lot of diversity there on what we could see and what we could do.
You'll learn that soon, Lund, when you start running with us.
Yeah. Can't even fake it anymore.
That's what she said. Oh, that's sad. Our other winner, Ashlyn, said all of the local farmers markets, there's a couple of those there, just vendors and restaurants. And again, restaurants is a big one, I think, for Red Deer, because there is quite a few, like a nice array of restaurants.
Red Deer does have a fair number of locally owned restaurants, which is nice. I feel like when you go to those bigger cities, it's a lot more chains. And I mean, obviously some of them are good, but like it is nice to actually know the family or the person you're buying the food from and enjoying their restaurant. So for me, just the amount of local businesses or local restaurants in town is pretty cool.
Well, and it's something we talk about a lot here anyways, but being part of this podcast and having sponsorship from so many local restaurants as well is seeing the community involvement, and that they're more than just restaurants in the city, that they are really active and passionate in the community and contributing in a lot of different ways to a lot of really great causes.
Well, and for Dustin and Lund now being kind of on the other side of that, being owners of a business that is a restaurant too, have you noticed, like just even in a couple short months, just how much people in Red Deer really do like supporting local?
Yeah, it's huge. There's people out there that will only buy local if they can. I'm trying to get there. I'm not quite there yet, but there are quite a few people that search by locally owned restaurants or businesses.
I think on the flip side of that, Ted, in our short time of being a part of this business, you see the real value in giving back to community. Like Bose, Cilantro, the people who are involved with, they do such a great job of giving back to different groups within the community, giving to different events, helping fundraisers, and you see the return from the community, right? So it's really a full circle thing that you want to support so many different things within the city, maybe even a little bit outside the city in central Alberta, but you see a lot of the return come back to your business because of how much you're supporting. With franchises, a lot of those are local business owners, but find it hard to get from corporate office to the city that they're really connected in, and maybe have a little bit of red tape behind that.
I found that the local hospitality community in central Alberta is very collaborative, whereas the restaurants are getting together to help put on charitable events or run shows or whatever they're doing, but it's not dog eat dog and one's going to come out on top. They're all kind of pushing together for a common cause and for our region, and it's really great to see.
Well, and it makes a lot of sense, because who's going to go eat at the same restaurant 5 times in a row? Like, you want to spread it around to the people that you really want to collaborate with in the city. You know, if a person comes into your restaurant, the next time they go out and eat, you want them to go support another local person that has the same common goal as you. So I think you hit it right on the head.
I think all of your points feed into one of my favorite things about Red Deer, especially as someone who comes from Calgary, is that Red Deer to me has like a small town vibe to it, but still has everything that I would need, say, living in a city, right? So it has the small town vibe, the community vibe. We still have over 100,000 people. It still has a pretty... Andrew's losing his mind over here.
Oh,
I thought you were laughing at me.
Go while we're interrupted. Cough.
Yeah.
I thought you were laughing.
So did I. I was like, I don't know.
Sick or just gross.
Yeah. A lot of what people said, it all kind of runs together. Like Ashley said exactly that. It's a city with a small town feel. Val said it's the people, the business owners, the entrepreneurs. Nina said cilantro and chive, which I don't disagree, but you were just trying to win a gift card, let's be honest. Joe and Casey both said it. I could go either way on this. The amount of deer and other wildlife in town, as someone who drives to work at 5 a.m. every day, sometimes, you know, is it nice to see the deer? Yes. Is it nice to see them when they're 3 feet from the hood of your car? Not so much, but it is, you know, kind of cool. Lund, I don't know if you've been, like, there's been a couple times we've had just a moose in the front window.
Yeah, there are a ton of deer and a few moose. Yeah, moose out there.
Meese.
No, it's moose. I know this one. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing. Like, as long as they don't run into the side of your vehicle, just keep your eyes open.
You know, I'm driving from the southeast to Capstone every day, back and forth from work.
Ooh, look at me. My name's Kevin. I drive to Capstone.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, it's not like a overly wooded area no matter where I go. And almost, I bet you 3-4 times a week, I'm seeing like wildlife either at 8 in the morning or at 5 in the afternoon. And that's just, I think, really unique. And it's kind of crazy, especially the deer population around the city. Like, they are living the dream.
Yeah.
We're by Maskapatoon, and almost every night, if it's not deer in our front yard or making their route past, it's skunks or porcupines.
No, that's your neighbor getting high.
Here's one that, again, is pretty unique to Red Deer. Kim and Shailene both said the amount of outdoor rinks, because I haven't really been able to use them much this year, but the outdoor rinks per capita here is insane.
Well, and I think, Ted, you guys can speak to this coming from Calgary, because when I was in Edmonton for university, we'd go to the outdoor rink and they're like, well, you got to pay. Community association or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it goes to a good cause, but I mean, coming from Red Deer, we were like, what the hell? Like, I'm not paying you $5 to come out here on the ODR. So I think we're super lucky, and there's like 75 of them, I think, between boarded and unboarded around the city. And Ted, like you say, we haven't been able to use them much, but when we do, I think we're super lucky.
Well, it's not just the outdoor rinks. Like, obviously we have quite a few of those, but in the summertime they turn into tennis courts or basketball courts. We have a fantastic pickleball facility now, good tennis club. But like, there's a lot of outdoor activities you can do without leaving the city, which I don't think a lot of cities our size have. That's something that I certainly don't take advantage of. Maybe I will after Kev whips you into shape, but yeah, we're pretty lucky to live in such a cool city.
Pam said the Westerner grounds, which again, there's a lot there. They've newly renovated it, so yeah, lots of different events and stuff, I guess, that we can have there, which has been really nice, especially that new what's the new one called where they had
Exhibition
October
Hall.
Exhibition Hall. Yeah, that place is gigantic.
We've got a great location. Like Red Deer gets a lot of big events just because I think we are so central. Even though we might not get the giant ones, Edmonton or Calgary is only an hour and a half away. So it's pretty cool if there's a good show coming to Edmonton or Calgary. I mean, why not drive an hour and a half, go see the Oilers or Flames? Like, there's plenty to do within a fairly short, 150 kilometers,
Yeah.
like
One episode of
radius.
O'Deer.
Yeah, that's how we time it.
Yeah, I think just last weekend, and we were able to take our kids up to their first Oilers game. So on a Friday night, we go up to Edmonton, stay in a hotel, hit the Oilers game. We went to the rec room, like had a ton of fun, drove back after that. And then Sunday we had my nephew's birthday party in Calgary at the Horizons Mall, which is just an hour south. So in 3 days, we were in three different cities technically, because Saturday night we were back in Red Deer. So just the ease of being able to go to these big centers, kind of to what Lundy was talking about, of you can go do these great things, and we get there and we're like, fuck, Edmonton traffic sucks, or Calgary, like Deerfoot. Oh, but you're only there for a short time, and then you get out and you come back to kind of normal and reality, and it's awesome. So
Come back to Gates Ave, and you're like,
yeah, this is nice.
This is living. Yeah.
Oh, these damn lights aren't timed up. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, that's for next episode, the pet peeves. Natalia also said no traffic, which I'm going to say right now, I think most of the slowest drivers in the world live in Red Deer, but at the same time, it's still like takes no time to get anywhere, which is nice. Again, coming from a city like Calgary.
Yeah, Red Deer rush hour adds like 5 minutes to a commute, so that's not.
It's not even. It's like a hustle hour. It's hardly even a rush.
Okay. Yeah, we can call it hustle hour.
I think kind of a niche one that's very specific to me is access to postpartum care. And there, I'm sure Edmonton and Calgary have a ton of programs as well, but the ability to access programs and to get into them easily from programs through the library or swim lessons or lactation specialists, all of that is just so much easier to access in Red Deer. It's quicker to get to places. There's, I don't want to say less demand, but it's just, in Calgary, I hear horror stories of people trying to get into programs and having, it's like trying to buy Taylor Swift tickets. Red Deer's just with a smaller population, but still all of these great programs. It's been really wonderful for us as our families changed.
Dustin, Aaron stole yours.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Aaron.
Sorry.
No, for me, I think they mentioned it in there. It's the entrepreneurs. I love seeing how much stuff and entertainment and new restaurants and just people taking risks to try and better our city and create more fun experiences. So I know there's a bunch popping up here or have popped up in the last, 5-6 months. And I mean, the only way that people are going to survive is that if the community comes out and supports it. And I mean, even if it's just once and it's not for you, that's fine, but you tried it. So I encourage you to, when you see a new business open up, to go try it out. And I know we're going to have a lot of them in the next, 3 or 4 months here.
It's already been mentioned, but the people, but I just wanted to, and it's too bad we've had to do this 2 episodes in a row now, but Jack Donald just passed away recently, which I thought was worth mentioning just for the amount that Jack and Joan have done for the city as far as philanthropy and donations and all that kind of thing. They started Fast Gas, I'm pretty sure, which became Parkland Fuel, obviously, which is a huge, huge company and very successful people, very successful family, but also a very generous family. So I just thought it was worth mentioning that RIP to Jack and condolences to his family, but a huge, huge contributor to Red Deer, and he's done a lot. That whole family has done a lot for the city.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great way to end off this edition of Deer Call. Thank you, as always, to everyone who answered this Deer Call, and keep an eye out on social media for your next chance to not only get your opinion out there for tens of people to hear, but also to win a gift card from Cilantro and Chive. Okay, now we've done a bit of a shuffle as Aaron, congratulations on your return to the couch.
I'm really pleased to be back. This is very comfortable.
All right, well, get comfortable because we have a new friend at the table here. Interesting way to wrap up the show, something new. As I alluded to at the start of the episode, which, my God, feels like a lifetime ago, but Andrew has a friend visiting Riley every damn time. We love Riley, though, even though he is distracting as fuck. But Andrew has a friend visiting from Australia. Kobe, this is just how we do things here. That's how we show friendship. And Kobe has graciously offered to not only come chat with us a little bit, but also run a game for us, test our knowledge of slang terms from, you do the accent, say down under.
Down under.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And based on her knowledge, again, of English slang terms from last episode, I don't think this is going to go well. But before we get into all that, Kobe, first of all, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Welcome back to
Yes.
Canada.
Yes.
So I guess like you lived here for a few years?
Not for a few years, as probably more a few months. I was an au pair here, which is pretty cool. And that was 6 years ago.
Wow. So I guess the biggest question to ask is, other than the fact that there's way fewer things here that want to kill you all the time, like what have you found is the biggest difference between now being in Canada and Australia?
There's snow here. That's probably the biggest thing. And the people are a little bit different.
Yeah, you
That's a really nice way to say that.
I really feel like we've been in a fish tank all night, right? Like an aquarium, and Kobe sat there. What do you think about what you've seen so far tonight, having only met Andrew and then coming in here to this?
Look, it's different to any type of podcast I've listened to before, but I enjoyed it. It's been good.
You've listened to good podcasts.
Yeah.
We fixed a lot of stuff in post here, Kobe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you're just here, you're visiting for just a bit? Like, how long are you here for?
I'm here for 3.5 weeks.
Oh,
which
wow.
is exciting.
And you just got here?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Well, this is nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
So you have agreed, which we really appreciate, to do a bit of a game here, because again, one thing that is very different anywhere you go, there's lots of different slang terms. I guess Lund, run through a couple of ones that you're familiar with real quick. We'll see if Kobe knows any of these ones.
Canadian slang, or
even what you were throwing at us last week.
Do you know what a double is?
No.
Oh, Kobe. Andrew, that should have been the first thing you taught her. A double is a coffee with 2 cream, 2 sugar.
Do you even drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Kobe lived with me for 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
See,
plenty
I
of
know
other
these
people
things.
that drink coffee, Kobe. It's just a polite thing to know, so just remember it for
I'll
next
take it on
time.
board. Thank you.
So be really careful with those stools. They break super
I'm
easily.
wobbling on it, yeah.
Andrew, shut your face. We need blooper reel shit. It's the only thing people watch.
Who else has a Canadian slang word?
ODR.
Oh dear. Outdoor rink?
Whoa!
What about what about toque?
I have heard that. Oh wait, it's a beanie.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's a beanie.
What's a beanie?
Well, like a cap. Yeah, that's close enough. I don't know. I wouldn't
beanie-
know any other way to describe a toque other than it's a
It's a
toque.
beanie.
Does a beanie keep your head and ears warm?
No, just your head.
Well, it sounds like a toque's a little bit better.
Beaver.
Is it an animal?
Nailed it.
Yeah, all right.
Do they have CTE in Australia or?
There's beavers in Australia?
No.
No, she's probably just read a book, Dustin.
I haven't.
Beaver's an animal. Well, I mean, it is slang. Let's be honest, but we're not going to get into that. What about your or your Gen Z slang? Like, do you know no cap or Riz? Like any of those? Is that?
Yes, we were talking about this.
Okay.
Yes, I do know.
Andrew
what that
is the authority on Gen Z slang. So
Yeah, I know Andrew went home and looked up all of the Gen Z slang after last episode.
It helps me bond with my 11-year-old. We communicate so much better now.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could help.
Man, you just do so much.
I'm doing God's work.
Yeah.
There's got to be some more Canadian
Yeah.
words that are signature to Canada, though, isn't there?
Have you eaten poutine?
Yes, that's with the gravy and the cheese. Yeah.
Are you Googling Canadian slang right now?
Or poutine.
What?
Lund just ordered a poutine.
What's a toonie?
I have no idea.
What's a loony?
A loony, as in like a lunatic?
Yeah, okay, you're right,
Yeah.
but we have an alternate meaning here.
The $1 coin is a loony and a $2 coin is a toonie.
Okay.
That's why
Good
they
to know.
call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get on with it. Because we didn't tell you, Kobe, that we were going to quiz you, but I thought there'd
That's
just
all
be
right.
a fun little surprise. So let's get into the game here. Let's play the Down Under Lingo Blunder. Working well, it's better than a lingo ate your baby. That was my other one. So
That's a good one.
okay, that's approved. Okay, let's play a lingo
That
ate
happened
your
when I was
baby.
little. I was pretty little then, but I know about that.
I know Aaron informed me that was very offside, but I said it anyways. So you're not the boss of me.
I can't believe you held that back, Ted. That was gold.
Well, I didn't hold it back. I said it.
But you
I held
didn't.
it back briefly.
You didn't pick it though.
Well, that might be that now. We'll see. Okay, so Kobe, I guess the game's pretty simple. You're gonna run us through, give us, 10 slang terms. We're gonna try and guess what it is. Whoever wins doesn't have to get their nose waxed.
So we're gonna
Ooh.
have 3 losers.
Three nose waxers. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm in.
All right. Well, some of them I will just give the word, and others will need some context, I think, because you might not know what they mean.
Okay.
But I thought I would start with an easy one. Sometimes we drink goon.
I said wine.
Box wine.
Box wine it is.
Oh, I said homemade wine.
Ooh.
Dustin, just please say for the record what you wrote into the microphone.
Grass juice.
Dustin, what is grass?
I mean, it kind of tastes like grass.
You ever got it at Booster Juice? That special shot.
Wheatgrass?
Yeah, that one.
You're the kid that got dandelions wet and like squeezed them into a glass.
You guys
and
all
drank it.
guessed wine? That's pretty good.
Wait a sec. So,
Wait, 'cause
Colby,
you
who gets
gooned
the
on
points?
wine.
Am I the only one that gets points, or is
Well,
Goon-
technically, goon is boxed wine.
I think I'm the only one
I
that gets
think
points.
that's-
It actually it comes in a sack that's in a box.
That's the
Yeah.
same as here, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give that to
Goon.
just Lund.
Yeah, that's
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Did you get negative points for saying grass juice?
Yes.
Just as close as you guys were.
Alrighty, so we would go and buy alcohol at the bottle-o.
Sorry, can you say that word one more time?
Bottle-o.
Can you say it without the accent?
Like in your accent? The bottle-o.
Corner store?
I said liquor
I
store.
said liquor store.
Gas station.
Yeah, liquor store.
Yeah.
We call it the bottle shop or the bottle-o for short.
I thought because you said the word
Yeah.
liquor, you tricked me.
I thought
Bottle
that was a trick
shop.
question,
Yeah.
too.
The bottle shop.
Which said go buy liquor at the bottle shop, so I figured you wouldn't give it away.
Oh.
So you got 2, Walsh has 1. Dustin, I have 0.
No, he said negative one.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
said
Dustin's in negative 1. Mr. Grass Juice.
I got nice grass in Australia.
Yeah.
Have you been?
No.
Oh, he hears good things.
All right, this one is I feel cooked.
Sunburned.
Sunburnt.
Drunk.
One of you got it right.
Tired?
Tired. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and pretty cooked. Yeah.
I was between sunburnt and drunk, so I was wrong no matter what.
No, if you're sunburnt, you say like burnt to a crisp.
We say that too.
Yeah.
Just don't tell Lund he's sunburned.
Yeah, that's
He
one of
knows.
my pet peeves.
All right. Feeling a little dusty.
Hey man, how you feel? Oh, I'm feeling a little dusty.
Don't worry, I'm not copying your answer, Lund. You go last.
All right.
I said old.
Depressed.
Sick.
I said I want cocaine.
It means you're feeling a little bit rough, or maybe you're hungover.
Oh, I was gonna.
So sick?
Yeah, not really.
Not
Nah.
really. That's a no.
Nah.
So dusty is like specifically related to hungover sickness?
Yeah, I've never heard that.
I
I've been
feel like
dusty
shit.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds better when you say it doesn't sound as bad.
Yeah.
I'm just a little dusty.
Yeah, that's how we say it. Yeah.
See, we always said dusty, like for us, is old, right? Is that not kind of more like the hockey bro lingo? Is dust? Am I right on the couch? No one's ever.
Yeah, dust is just like it means you suck. Yeah.
I don't know if it means old though.
I
Oh,
mean,
I've-
unless you're like old as dust or something.
That's kind of. I'm thinking crusty, which rhymes, but is not the same word. So let's move on.
Same.
Okay.
All right. This one I'm not going to use in a sentence.
Okay.
It's just yeah, nah.
One more time.
Yeah, nah.
Could I have the country of origin, please?
Can you spell it?
YEAH space NAH.
What?
Yeah, no.
I said question mark.
I said maybe.
I said, yeah, no, idiot.
It just means no. We would just say yeah, nah.
Oh,
And then on the flip side of that, nah, yeah.
it means yeah.
But can't you just say like? Why do they both have to be involved?
We
Can you
have-
imagine? Hey, do you want to go on a date?
we
Yes,
ha-
no.
We have that.
We-
Yeah,
we
no,
kinda- we
yeah.
kinda do.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no. Yeah,
Okay.
no.
That's
No,
what,
yeah.
That's what mine was going for. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
could be.
you know,
Yeah.
you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, what did you say?
No.
Yeah, no.
Nah, yeah or yeah, nah.
What was your word again?
Well, it's 2 words.
That's
Was
2
it yeah,
words.
no?
So yeah, nah means no, and nah, yeah means yeah.
What the fuck is going on over there in Australia?
I think I'm having a stroke.
We do the same thing. We just don't
Yeah,
have an
yeah.
accent for
I
it.
was just looking for a point.
I thought you
Nah.
did get a point.
No, he didn't get a point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Oh,
He basically
See, I
I
know.
needed to say no. I'm trying to get it out of it.
he
So
wrote
no
down
one-
what she said, but he wrote it down in English instead of Australian.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
you two both have 2. Dustin, I still have 0.
No,
Okay,
mine's at one.
All right.
no, one's at 2.
Let's have a Barbie for dinner.
Barbecue.
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 Yay.
Yeah.
Woohoo,
Well
well done.
trying to trick us with
Yeah.
that one.
Dustin-
Thanks, Dumb and Dumber.
Dustin, please tell the audience what you wrote down initially for that.
No.
Wait,
He wrote down shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh, because there's a saying like chuck a shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to trick me.
Oh, Austria.
Yeah.
That's a,
Chuck another shrimp on the shrimp.
All right. I might be driving and I might need to chuck a Yui.
U-turn.
Turn around.
I have U-turn,
Yeah.
turn around.
We call it a U-turn or a UE.
Do you know what we say in Canada for that? Have you heard?
No.
We flip a shitty.
Oh.
We also
Okay.
say U-turn.
Yeah.
Or whip a shitty.
I don't say any of that because I obey the law.
All right. I might chuck a sickie.
Chuck a what?
Chuck a sickie.
Puke.
Puke.
Ball.
Smoke a cigarette.
No. It means to call in sick. Chuck a sickie.
Oh,
Like call in sick to
You
work.
said chuck a ciggy.
No.
No.
I was so confident.
No. We would call that a dart, not a ciggy.
Okay, we say
Yeah.
that too.
No, you'd say like, oh, I'm going to chuck a sickie today. Not going to go to work.
But
Because
why would
I'm
you
sick.
just say I'm going to phone in sick?
Oh my
So
This is
we
not
don't
the
say
beat.
that.
Would you be anywhere Canadian?
Well, no. 'Cause what I'm saying is, would you then
Or you'd
say,
say, like-
I'm gonna chuck a call to my friend because I'm gonna
No.
phone my
It's not-
friend.
No.
No.
But,
Okay,
we,
but,
we
like,
don't say phone a
Why
friend
would you
either.
say waist high sauce instead of just saying, hey, pass me the puck? That's just how lingo works.
I guess.
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Waist high sauce.
That was a good analogy, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
How many words are left?
One more.
So, yeah, just to update the score, London Walsh have 4, Dustin and I have 2. We're out of it, so we're just playing for participation ribbons.
All right. This last one is taking the piss.
I just want you all to know that I'm actually the best at this and technically winning. Kevin
Congratulations.
Girl
Kevin can
power.
attest.
Doing
It looks very technical. Yeah.
I just said drinking.
Wrong.
I said ribbon your friends.
Oh, close.
Peeing.
I said he's been drinking.
No, to take the piss is like make a joke about something. So kind of close. Maybe
So
not.
it just means like you're joking?
Yeah, just
Okay,
taking the
okay.
piss. Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah,
that lots before. I just
I've-
wasn't sure what exactly it meant.
So, are we going to a tiebreaker then?
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. This place is Chuckers.
I feel like you've said the word chuck in like 4 different ways tonight. So now I'm really confused.
There are resourceeful people now
Yeah.
in Australia. And this word chuck,
you say
we can use it a lot.
Chuckers?
Chuckers. Like CHOCKAS.
What was the
Chuckers.
second letter?
All right.
Well, Dustin, what did you
Three.
think? Because we don't
I
matter.
went crazy.
Oh, I said this place sucks.
I said busy.
This place is the shit. It's awesome.
No, busy is the closest. It's like it's super busy or it's jam packed.
That's pretty. That's good. Yeah. Oh, my sweet nostril hair stays with me. Oh yeah.
All right, well, that was man, we learned a lot tonight.
Wow.
Science and lingo. And thank you, Kobe, for doing that.
No
that
worries.
was a lot of fun. Welcome. Is this your first, because Andrew said you've been on podcasts. Is this the first Canadian podcast you've been on?
Yes, first Canadian.
And next time someone asks you, are you going to say, yeah, no, or no, yeah? I didn't even do that, right?
No, I think that's the right question.
Well, one thing Australians do is like not answer the question you're asking. So you say it wasn't bad.
She'd probably say that place was Chalkas.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
We'll go with
again,
that.
congratulations, Lund. A big win for you there. And yeah, those noster hairs of yours are going to stay.
Here to stay.
Yeah. Or at least, I mean, like maybe trim them.
Yeah, I'll
in a
trim.
less
I'll get a
painful
nice
way.
trim.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're not going to reshuffle because we're almost done here. So thank you again, Kobe. That's pretty much it for another episode. We made it through. So all that's left to do really is everyone's final thoughts. And let's start with the couch people again and the honorary couch person.
Yeah, I might just be back here next episode. This feels right.
Good. You cough on them.
I'm not sick. I'm just gross.
Yeah, you fit right in with those couch people.
I'm the original couch person.
Go back to the table, Aaron. Take your grossness over there.
You should have chucked a sickie.
Maybe we should just get more couches, and then this could just be a couch podcast. Maybe you guys would be more at ease.
I would be.
Lund's back looks like it hurts. All that working out.
No, surprisingly, my back's okay. Even though I've been carrying these two.
Like I set that right up for you, and you didn't
Yeah,
jump
no,
on it. that
I
quick.
caught on too late.
All right, Strybosh, can you top that?
I cannot top that. I enjoyed the Australian lingo.
I thought he was going to say the Australian lady.
Kobe's great.
Australian lady.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought Andrew was laughing at me when I was trying to make a serious point. And I'll see you all on Monday for a workout.
Thanks for a fun night. Thank you, Kobe, for coming on. Well, I have two things I want to ask you before we go, actually.
Okay.
One, I want to ask you, is Bluey as big of a deal in Australia as it is in Canada?
Yes, it's huge at home. They actually today in Queensland rebranded one of the Bunnings to be what's a hardware store in Bluey called?
Hammer House.
Yeah, they've fully rebranded it today, so that was pretty exciting.
What is it called?
Hammer House.
Hammer
I got that sign over my bedroom door.
You're taking a piss.
Okay, so the other thing I want to ask you about,
You're taking a piss. I think it was close to using it in context.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
the Wiggles. Like, are they still around? What's going on with them these days?
Yes, so they were around when I was little, but the original Wiggles have like come back now, and now there's like multiple of each color. I don't know why, but
They
there's
got,
a few
like,
of them now.
fill-ins?
There's like 10 Wiggles now.
Oh,
Yeah, but they're still pretty big, and they do adult concerts as well as.
They're like Menudo. They just keep adding members.
Yeah.
I have a correction from the couch. It's a Hammer Barn, I believe.
Yeah.
Hammer
Okay, that's
Hammer
different.
Barn.
Yeah. Anyone know a good sign making place? I got to make a change. I like that even better.
Yeah, all farm animals allowed in this house.
I walked right into that one. Anyways, let's move on. Dustin, do you have final thoughts?
Oh boy, a little bit off the rails tonight. Huge thanks to Kobe for coming and taking us through a fun game. Enjoy your next 3 weeks in Canada.
Thank you.
And safe travels home after. Hope you have a great time with the Russells. And yeah, thanks for having me again, Ted. It was a blast.
Colby, have you been to the Outback Steakhouse? Is that remind you of home?
I have been to one in America, and that is nothing like home.
Okay.
I'll let you know that.
I guess my only other point I wanted to make. I'll just let you guys finish. Now I know you guys didn't like my donuts, so maybe like you guys have been eating too healthily. Like, you guys have earned these cake slices. I looked, they're only 600 calories and they are delicious.
That does look good.
I think you guys, based on the workout you had today, you can probably have a full slice.
Good.
And you earned it, and I won't hold it against you. If you don't have it, we can put it in the freezer and save it for next time.
I was just gonna say, save it for 3 weeks from now.
But yeah,
how did I not think there was more snacks coming? I thought after 2 it was done.
How are you buying all this stuff unemployed?
He plans on winning the challenge.
That's how much I love you guys. Spending my hard-earned money on junk food that you're not eating. So anyway, Colby, thanks a lot for joining us here. Hopefully we didn't give you the wrong impression of what Red Deer is like. Really thankful to get your perspective on Australia and Canada, and thank you for the travel tips. I will probably be reaching out when I'm down there. And yeah, that's all I have for right now, Ted.
All right. With that, it's time to finally wrap up episode 35 of Oh Dear. A huge thank you once again to our episode 35 sponsor, Recovery Lab, and of course to Larry for joining us for a very educational interview and calling us all VIPs. That's pretty fun. And of course for the use of all the sport recovery during the Fit or Quit challenge, or if you're Aaron and get kicked by a horse, it's also very handy. Whatever life throws your way. Thank you as always to Communal Creative Studios for the use of their studio, specifically to Fish for hosting us the whole time. Riley came, he made some noise, he gave us some snacks, just the usual shit from him. But of course, a huge thank you to our presenting sponsor, Bo's Bar and Stage. And the biggest thank you of all to you for listening to the Oh Dear podcast. If you made it this far, bless your heart. For Dustin Moore, bless your heart. That's way off brand.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, peace and love.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah. Somewhere, you know what? Somewhere in between bless your heart and fuck you guys. That's what we want to say.
That's where we'll land on that one.
Yeah. So for Dustin Moore, Kevin Walsh, Ryan Lund, coworker Aaron, Andrew Russell, the athlete Kevin Strybosch, and Kobe, just Kobe, I'm Ted Emmett, and we'll see you next time.